And they believe that electricity, not gravity, is the dominant force in space. And what we see when we look up, and we look at all that light is not this sort of chemical interaction, but actually electrical. And we've all seen those pictures of space and all these light things connecting them, right? When you look at the universe and it looks kind of nice, they say, oh, and this is like the human brain. And what's going on in the human brain but electrical signaling? So there's a real sort of fractal representation there of the light up there and the light in here, in our own brain. So I discovered that the sun is actually an electrical plasma, and that the solar wind isn't some hot gas that's being blown at us, but actually the flow of electricity. And so when it hits our upper atmosphere, our ionosphere, which is the inner layer, and the magnetosphere, which is the outer layer, actually protect us from too much solar radiation. So we live inside a little plasma bubble of our atmosphere. When we get a lot of energy from the sun, in fact, this just happened. I heard that there might have been northern lights in Vermont, where I'm from, last night, because the sun hurls a coronal mass ejection of plasma, a little kind of extra charge, through space. And when it hits our upper atmosphere, it turns the plasma that is in dark current mode to glow mode. More charge equals more light. And we get northern lights. And that's because it's electric and it's lighting up. Lightning is plasma. Neon lights are a plasma. These ley lines are areas of plasma flows that are just more dense and contained. But ultimately, we are living in a sea of electromagnetic energy. And what I learned was that the same electricity that powers the sun and lights up here and actually gives rise to all life on Earth is the same electricity that powers my heart. So our bodies are very electric, and we don't think of this because we've been taught to think of our bodies chemically and mechanically and not electrically. And so the idea of a light body goes into that realm of spirituality. But we don't have a scientific basis for it. And yet, if you sit and you think it through, when you get an EKG, they're measuring the electrical activity of your heart. When you get an EEG, they are measuring the electrical activity of your brain. Your bones are piezoelectric, crystalline structures that make electricity when you compress them. You have light in your bones. And then it radiates, right? When you go exercise or dance, you know how your energy goes up. And it's because you are generating electrical energy from the core of your being. So not only that, but your fascia conducts electricity, your blood carries a charge, you're mostly salt water. 99% of the molecules in your body, because they're small molecules, are actually water. Now you might be 70% by volume, but for the most part you're a bag of seawater, which also makes you a battery. You are a battery. And everybody's got a battery meter. And whenever I ask people, on a scale of 1 to 100, where's your battery meter at right now? People always know. Does anybody want to tell me where their battery meter is at? I'm going to start calling on people randomly if you can. Where's yours?
50.
50.
70.
70, great. 60.
75.
75.
87.
Great. That's great. So, when we're thinking of ourselves in terms of chemical health and we're living in a world of solid, liquid, and gas, we're missing the juice. We're missing the electric aspect of life, the universe, our health, and everything. And you can eat clean as you want and take expensive supplements, but that's not always going to get your battery meter up. And so what I've learned from this work is to start thinking of myself as an electrical being in an electrical environment And always minding where my battery meter is at and paying close attention to that which drains my battery and that which charges my battery. And I've actually learned to keep my battery in the range of 90 to 100% all the time. So all the things that people tend to suffer from, and there's a lot of suffering going on, a big part of it is not knowing you're electric, is feeling like a guilty sinner, of feeling disconnected from everything around you because you're not taught about that which connects us. Because the same electricity, like I said, that powers the sun, that is all here, we all have the same electricity in us, and it's all one electricity. It's all one light, and it's all connected. And that sense of darkness and of disconnectedness that we all feel, that we have no fire, that our light has gone out, that we feel disconnected, that we feel broken, that's all just a consequence of misinformation.